Right club!
Every year, it is the same. The three ghosts gather before the haunting. How will we appear this year, says Past, his knowing eyebrow cocked. I'd like to be a willow tree, or a treasure chest with talking lock. Present tugged her tiny ear and laughed a gleeful peal. I'ma go unexpected, a giant slithering eel. Future saying nothing, pointing to the concave screen that gave the clues as to how their haunting should proceed. The unexpected met them where they were, and much to their surprise, the usual Scrooge was a different dude, same person, different guys. Scrooge was surrounded by folks and jokes and money, furs, sycophants, and goblets of milk and honey. He was throwing Benjamins at friends and foe, pulling it out of thin air. Music blared and Scrooge was bawling. Boston Duke was even flossing. What was going on here?
Yeah.
Frightening Scrooge was easy because he was alone, his life already hell. But why would one change their life that looks like it's going so well? The three sat at the table, a new course to be charted. They had no idea what to do with this Scrooge, who appeared to be so open-hearted. Same time last year, no one cared for this bitter man. But here he was, surrounded, and everyone was a fan. Why, wasn't that a spiritual guru sighing at his side? There were who's and what's and famous folk of every kind. Well, this haunting is a different thing. Scrooge is a hero now, a billionaire, a demigod, one who knows and how. The future sat silent as the futures want to do, sucking the past, chewing the present, and when they were through, tilted an empty hood to the left. Translation, what you all going to do? Tough love is called for today, says the past, telling the story of a child caught with a cigarette who had to smoke the entire pack. That's as harsh as it can get. Present suggests public service to shield the heart against the glare of greed. There's nothing to get the love pumping like a deserving one in need, except deserving is subjective, and this fat cat Scrooge made it clear, thumbs pointing toward his double chin, who deserves more than this guy here. So they reviewed their usual bag of tricks and found the contents wanting. His life as a boy seemed not to harm him at all. The poverty, the loss, the lack of love only spurred on a new generosity. He was a shiny Santa Claus, letting Scrooge see his employees suffer. His miserly behavior's ill effect was pointless now. He spared no expense and he always paid the check, showing him his lonely grave. No more mourning his death made no sense now, for the glittering 1% would be bereft. They did not know what to do. They were never called to think on their feet, these spirits. Tradition was their bread and butter, the tried and true their milk and meat. Future, mute, crosses an unseen knee. A black stiletto revealed. Glossy heels so high. The future haunts with hints. Translation, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy, fuck this guy. His story, it is moot. Humanity's going straight to hell. Fire, ashes, soot. And the ghost gave up with satisfaction and had a drink to boot. But that's not how the story goes. How will we see the other side? So timing completely off, Marley's ghost sails in, all chains and pride. Fuck this guy? Seriously? I'm here to say, fuck you. Marley still had some earthly vibe, part of why he's bound in chains. But his presence, it was needed, and so he took the reins. Are you so blinded with what's gone before you can't see this is Scrooge, more Scroogey than ever? It's the same fucking coin, heads, tails, it's birds of the same fucking feather. Sure, he was a miser, and now he's balling like a boss, but his gold ain't all that glitters. Look closely for the cost. And sure enough, the ghost took stock of the action on the screen and saw more of what was missing than when they first took in the scene. The nephew of Mr. Scrooge, they knew his name was Fred, was not in attendance. In fact, poor Freddy's dead. That's what I said. Fred and his wife lived in their car until they died. Their home was taken by the bank to which Scrooge was lied. So Scrooge could not help his nephew. He claimed his hands were tied. The help was scurried to and fro with libations for the guests, were fighting pain in back and knee while working several shifts. They had to do the work to keep the creditors at bay. To dull the pain, they stood in the kitchen snorting oxy off the trays. And the hundreds flying through the air weren't joyful, it was sad. They were staving off the folks that Scrooge hurt good money for deeds so bad. We've told ourselves and taught ourselves, drummed into our heads, that golden power is the value, consume or die instead. And that's when the spirits looked at Scrooge's face, eyes peeled, teeth bared, fists tight. Why, this man wasn't happy. He was bloated fat with fright. Marley looked on at his friend, a ghostly tear he shed. Please, don't give up, was all he said. The ghosts, they changed their game. For past, present, and future appeared to Scrooge at once and all the same. They crashed that party right there and then did not wait for the clock to toll. They scoured the scene and laid it bare, all the glitter, all the fame, none of it was there. And Scrooge's poverty belonged to everyone, and everyone was free. They had no things, no thoughts, other than each other's need. And so the future was reborn. For the first time, future turned its empty hood toward the sun. Its robes shimmied, shining. Translation, God bless us, everyone.
God damn.